Korean towel done.
Yes.
Cool, good, all right.
All right, so we're gonna try to do this relaxed and, fun. It's obviously a Q&A with Ernie Hudson.
Relaxing.
Whatever works for you. You're the smoothie. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let you guys ask some questions. I need you to keep in mind that there's gonna be obviously several people that are gonna have questions, and so we don't want to take up too much time. You've got one question and do one question at a time. If you've got multiple, let somebody else take a few turns before you come back up with another one, okay? I'm actually probably gonna go down here so we can handle it.
Do you want to take one out and I'll take the other?
This is great auditorium, man, it's a great sound system. Yeah, great.
Yeah, here you go.
Cool.
So I got our first question right over here.
What's it like to see yourself portrayed as a cartoon?
Well, in relationships, when the person you're with think of you as a cartoon, it's not a good. It's well, I don't know. It's I think all of it seems a little weird, right?
What about action figure?
An action figure, you're always kind of disappointed with the likeness. Because I remember when they first came with the Ghostbusters thing, they sent me like the prototype to approve, and it looked like Eddie Murphy. It didn't look like me to me, but you also, it's hard to see what you look like, even when you're in movies. You look at, I don't quite look the way I think I do, So it's just a little odd. I think the whole industry is a little odd, kind of to begin with. What do you do with that? People, oh my God, I can't believe it was you, and you got what is that about? I don't quite understand that. And then some people go like, you. And you can't deal with that. It's just kind of weird. Maybe that's, I don't know if that answers the question, but yeah, it's like, that's cool. I don't know. Yeah, so. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's just a little odd, a little different, but, yeah. I had a doll in Congo. We had a Congo, Monroe Kelly doll. And then in Space Hunter they had a doll, but I don't think the movie did a lot of business, so you didn't see a lot of that. And maybe a couple other things too, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
Make sure you guys raise your hands high so I don't have my glasses on. Bear with me.
What was your debut film that really propelled you into the filming world?
Well, I don't think anything ever really propelled me, so it's been I'm getting a little breeze that kind of keeps moving me forward, but I never got that really sort of, I'm here, I have arrived, I'm a star, I made it, sort of. I did a movie called Lead Belly years ago when I was clearly in a movie, and it's a studio movie, and it's really going to be seen in theater, and so that was kind of cool. That's a little bit different because I started out in theater, you work, you're hoping to get that break, and then then you're on the big screen and people are watching it. But you keep waiting for it. And when Ghostbusters came, it's like, okay, this is a major movie. It's like it's big, but then I wasn't on the poster. So kind of there, sort of, I think, maybe, So it's always, I think with most things in life, you get what you want, but there's something's a little missing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some people say get it all. It's like, oh my God, everything I ever dreamed of that happened this morning. I haven't got that, but I got enough of the good stuff and to kind of outweigh the bad stuff. And I have no idea what you asked me. I tend to do that. I run on a little bit, so I'll try to be more conscious. But what did you ask me?
What propelled your career in film industry?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a working actor, so I've always worked. I've always been very blessed to work. I haven't had one of those careers that, you know, I'm not an action hero, you know, or romantic lead, or, you know, I star in horror films or something. I'm one of those guys, I work a little over here, I work a little over there, job comes up. I was a single dad, and my first set of kids, I have 4 sons, and the first 2, the marriage ended, and so I got the kids. So I've always been, you know, I just need a job. And I don't even question the quality of the movie. I'm just like, okay, what's the character? What do I need to do? So much stuff is out of your control, you know. So I've looked at it that way, and I gotta pay the rent, gotta keep the phone on, kids gotta have, you know, school clothes, books. What's the next thing? Really, really big, and they're great, and then some things are nobody notices, and you know. But the interesting about the movies is some of those you think nobody will ever see. Somebody will come up and somebody came up and mentioned Penitentiary 2, which one was or The Human Tornado. Some of those obscure movies that you kind of go, you know. So you never, the stuff is out there, so somebody sees it, you know. But yeah, I'm a working actor. I've been acting for 50. My son is 54, so I started acting before he was born. So I've been acting for about 55 years, and I've always made a living as an actor. Yeah, but the big break was suddenly Ernie Hudson is like that's kind of hasn't happened for me in the way that I did it. Now somebody else might perceive it differently. I'm sure there are actors out there kind of going, how did he get that job? He's everywhere. He's working on, taking all the jobs. It's all, so much of it is your perception. You know, from where you're sitting, it looks like this, but in reality, it doesn't look like that to anybody else. I kind of had to learn that, but yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
We got a question right here in the middle.
What was your opinion of the remake of Ghostbusters?
The remake, well, you know, okay, it was sort of, I'm a fan of all the ladies in the movie, okay? Because they're all very talented, very funny. And,
They were on SNL.
I'm sorry, what?
They were on SNL.
Yeah, they're on, Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
Okay.
Aside from Melissa McCarthy.
Okay, all right. So I'm a fan of theirs. I think they're all very funny. When they decided to do another Ghostbuster that they've been talking about for like forever since the movie, you know, I mean, we're gonna make another movie. We got Ernie Hudson in it. I'm like, really? And it doesn't happen. So I just kind of gave up that it was ever going to happen. And then finally, the studio, after the video game came out, said, okay, we're gonna shoot this movie. And then they got Paul Feig, who kind of wanted to do his own thing with it, which as a filmmaker, I can understand that. But then when they said they were going to do a reboot, I'm like, that kind of didn't make a lot of sense to me because it's been 30 years. Just make another movie. I mean, it's 30 years later. But they did the reboot, which is a little strange. And even though I'm a fan of all the ladies in the movie, they were kind of doing a little bit of a version of, like Melissa McCarthy was a little bit of Danny Aykroyd, which makes her not quite as funny as she is if she's just Melissa. So I just would rather they had just done the whole other thing with it as opposed to trying to redo. So it was a lot of action, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, I thought it was entertaining. We had, 6, 7 ghosts in our movie? They had like 350. Ghost balloons, it were ghosts, I mean, they were coming out everywhere. So it was entertaining, but I didn't think it was quite in keeping with the original movies. And the new one that's just been made, I think it's going to be more in line with the original Ghostbusters. Because Ghostbusters really is about relationships, about friendships. These guys, kind of goofy guys, nerdy guys, and they come with this weird idea of opening a business, and so you kind of follow them. And they hire this guy, who kind of comes in, and he's like, "You're nuts, but pay me, and I'll do whatever." Where's the check? Am I going to get paid? That's all I really care about. And so it was kind of that, so it wasn't about all the ghosts and all the now so much of the movies is about war, which bothers me. You know, I mean, it's a lot of the Marvel stuff. I love the Marvel stuff, and I'm putting it right down. But it's so much battling the bad guy, the good guy, you know, it's just Jesus. I mean, it's like a lot of killing and beating up, and then the problem is they beat the bad guy, but the bad guy never dies. So they beat him up and they throw him off a building and they blow him up and he crawls out and he fights some more. My God, somebody just. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Talking about the new Ghostbusters, do you make a cameo as your character? As in the reboot when you played Leslie Jones' uncle?
I played Leslie Jones' uncle in the third movie, yeah, which is very weird. I just found it very weird. Anyway, but so the new movie, what I can tell you about the new movie is absolutely nothing. They tell me not to. I can tell you that it's happening. I can tell you that I think it's going to be very good. I can't tell you if I'm in the movie or not, but if I wasn't in the movie, I wouldn't even talk about it. So the fact that I'm talking about it should be something. But the story and what, you know, and all that, there's a lot in the press, so we know there's a family involved. And beyond that, they say because it's top secret. I keep reading everything, I'm like, it's not much of a secret because everybody's. Anyway, yeah, you know, it's yeah, you know, I know I was auditioning for something and I mentioned it, and the studios, they take all this stuff very serious. Remember, it's hush, and they send me my script and it's coded and you can't say anything, and if it gets out, they'll sue you. It's like, it ain't that deep, I don't think, but apparently it is, so there you go. So I can't say a whole lot about it, other than it's coming out next July. And I think it's going to be good. I think you guys will like it. If you like the first movie, the first couple of movies, I think you'll like this one.
Yeah. I heard he got the guy from Stranger Things in it.
Yeah, I think he's the guy from Stranger Things. What's his name? Finn, is in it. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah. I think it's a good cast, especially if I'm in it. But if I was in it, I'm not saying I'm in it, but yeah, it's great to be here in Savannah. You know, you guys are. Savannah has its own sort of unique. I think it's the first convention I've been to where almost every single person I've talked to is originally from Savannah. That's kind of rare. Most places I go, people stop by, but they're from someplace else, or they've only been in town for a short time and they were actually. But here, I met a lady this morning who said she was been here since the first settlers settled in 16 something.
Sure that wasn't a ghost.
I don't know. And then they have a family plot where all the people are buried. So that's fascinating.
How many people here, this is their first convention altogether?
This is my second.
Wow.
Now, this surprises me because I do so many conventions and you see so many of the same people.
Yeah.
And all weekend I've had so many people come say they've never been to a convention before.
Yeah, that's
So, I mean, that's pretty cool when you guys get to come to your first convention, you guys.
right. Yeah. Well, it's great when you come at your first convention and I see the look on your face when you see the prices. Hey, what? How much? Oh, what a picture? I mean, really? Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that. But yeah, no, these things can be a little bit. But I enjoy doing it because I get a chance to meet you guys and people tell me, your stories, and we're all. It's kind of nice to follow that connection, especially when you live in a certain place, especially like Hollywood, one of those places where you make movies, there's a disconnect sometimes. So it's nice to see people who actually watch the movies, and
That's what's nice about this weekend is I'm older, so everybody that's here, I watched them when I was a kid. I saw him in Ghostbusters when I was a kid. I watched the Power Rangers.
Well, Well, it doesn't help when you say I'm older and I'm watching. It's like, where did that put me at? I like that.
I have a 4-year-old now, and he was just watching Ghostbusters, and it was the greatest thing to him. So he would say, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, kids like that, yeah.
And, you know, and it's really cool when you hear younger generation kids now come up and still know who they are. Like that's
Yeah, no, it's, and movies go all over the world. But there must be something you guys are dying to know about, you know, especially you guys, any filmmakers, actors? Okay, good. See, they sit up front, you know, they, yeah, so, yeah.
I actually have a non-Ghostbusters related question, because when I was a kid, it scared the crap out of me, so I would not watch it. But I actually was obsessed with Miss Congeniality.
Right.
Kind of following your, you know, being a working actor and just taking kind of roles, not knowing if they're going to be successful or not, because you know you need that money. I was wondering if you were surprised about how successful Miss Congeniality actually was as a movie.
Well, you know, by the time this Congeniality came, wow, did they turn the microphone on? Okay, so, is it? Yeah, okay. So by the time this Congeniality came out, I'd been acting at that point for a lot of years. So, you know, there are films that you kind of go, okay, this is probably not going to happen. Sandra Bullock is so funny and so down to earth and so nice and so amazing. And so I had no doubt that whatever she does is going to be, you know, it's going to be successful. And it was a good script. So it was a lot of fun being a part of that movie. Yeah, so, you know, you have a pretty good idea. I mean, I've done some things where I'm kind of going, this is not good. Yeah, just, yeah, make sure you get the money, yeah. But no, Sandra, she's solid, and I thought it was a very, very charming, fun script, and she, you know, I didn't like the second one.
Yeah.
I love Regina King, who's, you know, she won the Academy Award, she's an amazing actress, but comedy and that buddy thing was, yeah. Regina King said they want to kick your butt. Ain't nothing funny about it. I mean, yeah, I believe it. It's like, okay, but the first movie I thought was really amazing. Yeah.
Hi, so I was about Ghostbusters, and you were saying there were such few ghosts in the first one. I was just wondering, which of the ghosts in the Ghostbusters movie you did, which one is your favorite ghost that you had interactions with?
I had interactions with. You know, probably for me, when you make a movie, you have a pretty good idea, and I have a pretty good idea of what Ghostbusters is going to be. You know, they built it up really nicely. First, you start seeing the No Ghost logo around. Nobody knew what that was, and then little by little, so it was kind of climbed. It was really. But I think when you're sitting and watching a movie, it's one thing you make a movie, but you don't know what it's going to be when they pull it all together, put the music in and all the effects. So watching the movie for the first time, The Ghost in the Library was like, whoa. You know what I mean? That was when the movie started for me. I love that ghost. It was unexpected, and even with little kids, they get past the librarian, they're on for the ride. But if they can't deal with the librarian, it's like it's over. So I love that thing. But they were all kind of, you know, we took them all seriously, and yeah, it was, yeah, they were all, especially for the time, the special effects, and yeah, I'm curious to see what this new one will be like, because now we have technology, we can do things that we couldn't do back then. Should be pretty good.
We've got a question over here.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
So there was a movie that I, for the life of me for years, thought I imagined it, but it was one that you did with Elizabeth Montgomery.
Right.
And I just remembered you were, I guess, you came back as a ghost.
Right, yeah.
Something, and you left a daughter.
Right.
And you were married to Elizabeth Montgomery, but what was the name of that movie?
It was called, it's called Clover. Clover, yeah, it was based on a book, and yeah, it's one of my favorite characters. I thought it was a very sweet story because it was a TV movie, so it didn't get the kind of play that, and for whatever reason, they didn't really show it a lot. I mean, it was kind of, but it's called Clover, if you ever get a chance to see it, but I love that character, and I love that story, and our relationships and people. You know, we think we know each other well, and we also think we know where people are coming from and who they are, and if you're different and you're one of those people, we separate. And sometimes we're reminded that, come on, we know each other. You know, ain't no surprises here. You really do know I'm not a stranger, and that human connection. And I thought that story was very special.
Yes, sir. It's a quick first part of the question, and then I got a second part. First part is, what was your favorite TV show to guest star on? I enjoyed doing Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah.
Have you done any of the Ghost Tours in Savannah while you've been here? It'd be really cool to see you do one, maybe go on over it.
Yeah, no, I haven't done one of the ghost tours. Who's here are really interested in finding a ghost? Okay. Well, that's good, because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? You know, that friend's dying, I'm like, you know what, when you go, don't come back and sit here, you know. I'm sure we'll meet soon enough, but don't show up in my bedroom at 3 in the morning. I don't want to go there. I'm not afraid of ghosts, but it's like, you know, we did a movie called Speechless, and they put me up at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood. It was supposed to be haunted. And 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard somebody say, you know, look around it. And then I kind of closed my eyes, and somebody else ran across the room. I'm like, what the heck? So then I tried to lay there, and then it was like they were creeping. It's like they were walking up, and the bed kind of shook. I'm like, okay, no, hell no. So I got up at 3 in the morning. I checked out of the hotel. They said, you sure about that? I'm like, no, man, I don't want to be here. You know, no, it's there's something wrong, you know. Yeah, I was in the hotel room, and I just felt I felt the bed sort of, somebody was like laying next to me, like somebody licked my neck, and I was like, no, I'm not trying to find no ghosts. So, you know, and I know that some unusual things happen. I believe that, but you know what I think the real ghosts occupy is the mental realm. You know, we can talk about whether it's physical ghosts, but I can guarantee you there's some mental ghosts that are driving people nuts, scaring the hell out of them. Some people are so afraid. I'm like, dude, you can let that go. That's a ghost story in your head, because I don't see none of that. So people see things that aren't there, and that's really whatever. But yeah, so, but I don't really have a fear as such, you know. But I think spirits, my wife's back there, she doesn't normally travel with me, she got a chance to sort of hang out this weekend. And, but I remember I had like, somebody gave me a teddy bear, I think. It was weird, you know, the thing was just had a weird vibe, you know. It's like, what the heck? This is weird, man. It's like, I woke up and the thing was standing like, looking at me like, it's like, no, you gotta go. So I ain't nothing, you know, and a lot of people love, and I get how people love horror movies and it's all cool. But like, I'm like, happy Disneyland love, you know, it's like, I don't even want to think about that stuff, you know. Yeah, so that's it.
Not to go, I guess, dark. Can you tell us about Brandon Lee?
But Brandon, well, you know, when I think about Brandon, I don't go to those dark places, because Brandon was a really sweet, Brandon Lee was starred in Crow, and it was a wonderful movie, and I'm so thankful that it turned out to be a good movie. I think he would have been very proud of it, but he died on the set, was killed on the set, was shot on the set, he died at the hospital. He died while making the movie, and there's nothing to say other than it's one of those things that, you know, life happens sometimes, you know. We think we know what's going on, and you don't know. Nobody's, other than right now, you're not promised anything. And we all know that this is a limited journey. We're not going to be here. It feels like forever, especially when you're young. When you get to be my age, I was looking at the leaves that are turning now in my yard. And I thought, wow, we're kind of like leaves, you know? It's like, it's fall. It's a beautiful day outside, but you know it ain't summer. You know what I mean? You know, at some point, they're gonna fall from the tree. We all have to, you know, some turn colors and drop quicker than others, but winter's coming. I mean, I'll be 74 in a couple months, and you know, man, I mean, 20 years from now, I mean, that's 90. I know some good-looking 70-year-olds, but I don't know many good-looking 90-year-olds, you know. I mean, the body just sort of, I know, I hope, you know, I hope you're seeing that 20 years from now, you know. Hey, you know, people always tell you how you used to. Wow, man, you look like you used to be in shape over you. Hey, yeah, you know, I remember you, man, you used to really look pretty good. So, but that's natural. That's the cycle of life, and that's a good thing. I don't think you want to be. There's one tree in my yard where there's a little patch of leaves that just hung on past the winter. You know, when things are starting to bud and come out, but there's like these old leaves still clinging on. You know, all dried and wrinkly. You know, it's like no, it's not right. We all have to make that transition, and this is a good thing. And I'm not. Yeah, but time brings about a change. And in this process of passing through the connections we make, the relationships we make, the stuff we pass on to our kids, that's a beautiful thing if you look at it from the right perspective. So, and the people were meant to meet. I mean, I was meant to be in this place with you guys this day. Don't know why. I'm looking out here and I'm like, I don't know why I'm here, but it was meant to be, and here we are, and I'm so thankful that in my lifetime, I got this experience to be with you, so, yeah.
Wait, okay, so, compared to, you know, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, the different things about them, what it's like?
The difference?
Like the evolution of your character.
Okay, my character? Well, in the second movie, when I came into the first movie, I didn't know the guys very well. So I felt a little bit like, and I know that the studios really felt they needed them. They were stars, and I was kind of the new kid who they felt not, I don't want to say they didn't need me as much. Felt a little bit outside of, you know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, you go into somebody's house and they're all family and you're kind of this guy from next door, you know what I mean? They're having dinner and you're invited at the table, but you know what I mean? They grabbing food and stuff and you want to be polite and it was just a little weird. But not bad, you know? But by the time we did the second movie, I knew them very well. I felt like they were friends, so it was just a lot easier. I made a little bit more money than I did on the first one, so that made it a lot easier. And money actually makes you know, except you kind of go, man, I hate this. This is the worst thing in the world. And then they pay you really well, and you're like, well, you know, it's not so bad. I don't want to make it seem like I'm all about the money, but money does make a difference. I mean, it's like about how you feel about things. The movie wasn't quite as original to me, the second movie, as the first movie. I thought the first movie was really genius. I mean, the second movie was a good family movie. And when I see people who were introduced to the second movie first, they actually liked the second movie because I think it was just, you didn't have the scary librarian in the second movie. And it was just much more family friendly. So, yeah. Yeah, see, that was stupid. I thought, nobody's gonna be afraid. It's like little heads on a stick. I mean, really? And some people say, oh my God, that scene in the train track. But yeah, you know, we respond to different things. I guess it was scary. But they told me, they said, okay, so all right, okay, here's the scene. So you keep hearing these words, you know, and then this train is going to come down the track and it's going to be, and I said, what kind of train? He said, well, it's going to be this like locomotive train. And this train is like a real train, and it's going to come and it's going to hit you, and then you go, ah, so you're going to hit by a train. And then when I saw the movie, it's like a little fake choo-choo. So I think I would have probably dealt with the scene a little differently if I knew it was going to be a little bouncing choo-choo as opposed to a real train. But now 30 years later, I look at it and I kind of go, well, that was the appropriate, I should have, you know. Because sometimes, you know, you imagine things when you're doing it. I mean, it really wasn't a 60-foot marshmallow man. You know, like you imagine, said, okay, you got your gun here. There's a marshmallow, he's 60 feet tall, and he's climbing up the building, and just imagine it's a 60-foot tall marshmallow man, and you, I don't know what it's going to look like. And then you see the movie, and you hope it looks convincing, because if it doesn't, you're going to look really kind of stupid, you know? And sometimes they'll describe stuff that, you know, that is not there, and then you, on film, you look really. I did a movie with Alex, what was it, Alex Carl? Yeah. Alex Karras, he was a wrestler. He did Silver Spoons. He was an actor. We did a movie called Mad Bull. So I was playing this wrestler, and he was in the cage. This was years ago, and so they said, okay, now he really wasn't in the cage. They just filming me and this other guy. And they tell him what's supposed to happen. So he's climbing out of the cage, and so he got it, and then he gets thrown back down, and like, he gets thrown back down, he's climbing back up, and I go, yes. And know that, of course, it wasn't that way in the movie. It just had you doing all this stupid overacting stuff. And so you never quite know what it's going to look like, but you hope it's the way it turns out. So I had no idea this thing would be scary, but it's nice to know that it was. I'm sorry, what? Back here?
I just had a question about your time on Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
How was that? Because it was so much fun to watch you as Django on that show.
Well, I do a television show with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, who I've been fans of since I was younger. But they've been big stars for a very long time, so it was really an honor for me to work with them. But I'll be honest, when they asked me they said, we want you on the show, and you're Jane Fonda's love interest. And I thought, okay, Jane Fonda, I'm trying to, you know, because as an actor, I gotta have something to work off of. So I'm her love interest, so I remember Barbarella, there was a scene with Jane Fonda in her little outfit, so Barbarella, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff, I'm trying to. And they said, no, we changed it, I want you to be Lily Tomlin's boyfriend. Now Lily, Lily's that big rocking chair, you know, she does, you know, or that switchboard operator, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, you know, and then I thought, you sure you should be Lily's daughter's boyfriend? Because I'm not feeling all that age, and you know, of course it's not that much difference on age, but it's hard for you to see yourself, you know, you get older, but you still think you're like, whatever. And, but the fans love the relationship, and she's amazing. And so I really like that. I will say Lily Tomlin, over the years, 50-some years, you know, you different movies and you get different love interests. So my wife is always a little bit, who's this girl? And what is she? And you got, what's the scene? And, you know, you're in bed, and there's, well, who's gone? And so she's always interested. Well, Lily is like, oh, say hi to Lily for me. Not threatened by Lily at all, you know. But yeah, no, they're funny, and I went back to do a couple other episodes, and I think the new season I'll do a couple episodes, so I love working the show.
So you've been in quite a few movies over the years. Were there any pranks or jokes played on set that come to mind that you found really funny?
Yeah, I guess I'm not a prankster. I don't know. You know, I don't, what's that saying when I was a kid that said, you don't play with kids or fools or something like that. You know what I mean? When you have kids, it's like, I don't, don't know. So for my fellow actors, it's like, no, if we don't play that, don't be putting no, painting the bottom of my shoe or whatever people do. I don't, no, man, I don't do that. So, but they like to know, like, you're a practical, joker, well, and I'm like, no. I don't do the practical stuff. And I think they're never quite sure how serious I am, but Ernie really wouldn't hit anyone, would he? So with kids, you always gotta, you can't hit your kid, but you always gotta let them know there's always a possibility I could lose my mind and go crazy on you if you do it again. So with my fellow cast members, it's always that little thing of going, no, we don't do that. I love you dearly, we're gonna have fun here, but
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How was it working on the show Oz?
Yeah, Oz was interesting because, I loved Tom Fontana when he was doing Oz. He called me. I did a show called St. Elsewhere. Denzel Washington played my doctor. And this was a few years later, and Tom called me. Tom was the creator of that show. And he said, hey, Ernie, remember we had that conversation that we said we were always going to work together, and I don't remember having any conversation about working together with him. But of course I said, oh yeah, I remember. This is what I'm doing Oz, and I want you to be the warden on it. But it was interesting because some of the guys, not the main cast, but some of the guys that actually served time. So I had a real sense of, that feel. And what I found is when I come to work, everybody was really kind of cool with me, Ernie, and whatever. And then when I put on my warden suit, and I would always shine my shoes. It was kind of the thing I sort of did for the character. And when I walked back out as a warden, nobody really did much. They just didn't deal with me. I was not very popular. And but it was interesting just seeing the dynamics, guys in this space. And it was a wonderful cast. I really loved it. I thought it was one of the best casts that I've ever worked with. And the stories were, I couldn't watch Oz. I watched the first couple seasons, but then there was an episode where this guy cut off the kid's hand and sent it to his dad in the prison. It was like, I'm like, okay, this is like, no. Let's just get back to the Disney Channel. I just don't want to go there in my head. Go ahead. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, man. I know people do awful things, but man, I don't want to go there. I don't know why. The hardest thing I think is, as I get older, is I don't understand certain things. My grandmother passed away at 85, and she had got a bad diagnosis. She had been in the hospital, and she had high blood pressure and heart disease and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I went to see her just before she passed, and the doctor had said she didn't have very much longer to live. And I said, no, Mama, just try. We're going to get another doctor, and we're going to check it out because they don't know what they're saying, and I'm trying to encourage her. She said, what? Stop. She said, it's okay. She said, because, baby, there's going to come a time in life when you ain't going to understand none of what's going on here. So, I've had my time, and I'm good because I didn't quite understand that. But as I get older, there's a lot of things going on that I kind of go, I don't know what the hell people are doing. Like, why? You know what I mean? I mean, just basic stuff. I don't want to get into politics and all that, but some of this stuff is like, what? Really? And somebody get what to school and why would, it's very, and I don't remember feeling that way when I was younger. But the older I get, I go, a lot of things I don't talk to my kids about because I'm like, you did what? It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So it's like, yeah.
You've often played characters in position of powers like the warden,
Right.
the substitute is the principal, and things
Right.
like that. Do you are you comfortable in that kind of role? Do you like yourself in those authoritative?
Authoritative, yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Do I like playing roles of when I'm in authority? You know, I never had a job, but I never really had to go. You know, I'm like, so. But I think people see me a certain way, maybe the voice, so they'll see me as, you know, I'm the principal or I'm the warden or I'm some authority guy or the police officer. You know, come on, I don't. You know, I just. Yeah, no, that's not who I am, but maybe that's how people see me. So I don't know if I like playing them as much as I play what I'm, you know, what's there. You know, I don't get so selective as much as there's certain things that I don't want to do. I've turned down a lot of things, you know, especially with something that I'm like, why do I want to do that, you know? And I'm a dad, so I have children. And some things I just don't want them to see me doing, you know, so. But I just like to work, so that's the role. That's, you know, being. I'm usually a general, or which is better than every time they cast me. I'm like the you know, the homeless guy. You know, it's like I'm forever the homeless man. You know, like, and it's nice as an actor to be able to do all of it. Okay. Hey, hi.
A question down here.
Whoa, is that like power? No.
Does the marshmallow man, since he's a marshmallow, he burns down?
The marshmallow man burns down?
Since he's a marshmallow, does he burn down?
Does he burn? Yeah, and you know what? He's edible. I mean, yeah. So what is it? What is that from? Oh, he's a Power Ranger. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Off Amazon. Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, we have about 10 minutes left, so I want to make sure those who haven't gotten to ask a question yet get a chance. So I'm going to pop back.
I never saw anybody dress up as one of the putty men on Power Rangers. You know, the little gray guys. Like, everybody identifies as something, especially somebody out there who wants to be a putty guy.
Hi, I wanted to ask, out of all the roles that you acted and everything, which
Right.
would you say is your favorite? Like that one role that's like, yeah, I just love doing it.
Yeah, because the wonderful thing about being an actor for me is, you know, it's never the same production, it's never the same cast, it's never the same location. It's, you know, you do it and it's done, and you don't have to see these people again in this situation. It's over. But so every character is a little bit different, but I love the character on Congo, because, you know, as a guy, people tell you things, you know. So I was never like the real good-looking guy. I was the kind of good-looking guy, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you ain't bad, but you ain't all that either, you know what I'm saying? So Congo was my character to be cool, you know. I mean, he was a cool guy. He led the safari, you know. And when I was a kid, all those Tarzan movies. So, you know, Tarzan, of course, was a white guy who was the king of the jungle. And if you were black in those movies, first off, you're black, you're gonna die real fast. You know what I mean? I'm serious. You'll be like walking along, and then there's a boulder on top of it. It's gonna roll down. You know, you could be a lion to jump off and eat you. So I got to be the leader of the safari, and I didn't get eaten up by a lion. So that was kind of good. So I like that. I like the character. I like the character in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle because when I was a little kid, I was working on a farm picking fruit, and this guy kicked me, and I fell back and I hit my head and kind of went unconscious for a moment. Well, when someone is retarded, you sort of get stuck at a certain age. So I played the character. I thought, what would have happened if at 6 years old I got stuck? You know, how would life sort of be? And so I liked Solomon in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle because I just thought he was the best part of me. You know, there's a part of us that is our better part. We sometimes feel we can't be that because life is too serious, so we have to be this other version of who we are. But there is a better part You know, I think sometimes we think, when I get enough money and I got everything, then I'm gonna be the good me. And you have to be the best of who you are. And Solomon was the best part, I thought, of as a human being, and I love that character. I like the character in the Crow because Brandon was, I really liked Brandon, and I just thought he was a guy who was, you know, kind of, yeah, so some characters you do like, and others. I like the character on Grace and Frankie because he's not a bad guy, he's not a good guy, he's just a guy. I don't get to be the guy very often, you know what I mean? I'm not just the dad, you know what I mean? They want you to be the crooked dad or the something, you know, or too nice. I did a movie called Gallows Way, and these people show up in my yard and they burn my house down and kill my wife and my 2 kids, and I go off in the woods and sulk. I'm like, really? I mean, so the whole movie I'm in the woods, and then I come out and then I say something nice. And I mean, I like to think I'm a very kind person, but come on, man. They just killed my wife and 2 kids. I mean, really, I mean, yeah, so. Anyway, so, I don't even want to mention that. But yeah, so, but they're all different. I mean, all the characters are different, and they're all a lot of fun. And they're all a little bit, in my mind at least, different, you know. Yeah, so.
Hello. I had a question. I wondered, when will we ever see a crossover between like the female cast of the Ghostbusters and the newer Ghostbusters that's coming out?
You know, that kind of depends on the studio, and I think the studio right now want to pretend those females didn't really happen. No, I don't know that. This is me being silly. I don't know if that will happen. See, in Hollywood, if the movie does well, you'll see a lot more.
So we have time for one more question, but Ernie Hudson has been following the panel for a little bit, so if you have a question, make sure you make your way over and say hi and ask. So who's got a really good one for me? All right.
Since you said you go from just job to job just to pay the bills and everything.
No, I don't do that now. So my bills are paid.
Since you've done so many roles and you have your favorites, how about what was your least favorite job you took on and least favorite role with doing that?
Well, you know, I kind of hesitate to answer because I was going to say about who was my least favorite director once. And it was at this, I got invited to come to this school. And so it was a Q&A with Ernie Hudson. Supposed to last about an hour. About 10 minutes into it, they say, this student got an answer who was my least favorite director to work with. And so I said, well, you know, he was just one guy. And he was just awful. I mean, he was so stupid, and he said that I just couldn't stand him, and it was just the worst thing. And when I finished all that, the kid said, that was my dad. So I thought he was kidding. So he said, it's my dad, and F you, Ernie Hudson. So I said, F you. Now, this is all being recorded on, I mean, we're recording this to show the future students. And then I found out that it actually was his dad. And then after that, we had like 50 minutes to go, and because all this, it was the worst. It was awful. So then afterwards, I thought, you know what, this is dad, I gotta clean this up. So I was working in Canada, but I called the school and I said, you know, I really want to come down and I want to apologize because everything I said was true, but still, you know, I got sons and, you know, this is dad, you know. So when I finished working, I came down, went to the school, and he wasn't there at school because he had some kind of heart operation. And he actually left the hospital early to come to this Q&A with me, where I talked about his dad. So he was at home, And so I went by his apartment and I talked to him, and he was very kind, you know, to let me off the hook. But so I never try to. So the question was, what was the question? It was my reaction, and I didn't know how to react. I didn't quite how to get it. You know, so as an actor, you can't get it right. It was just, and it bothers you.